Welcome, welcome, welcome to Armchair Anonymous.
You
Ding,
did
ding, ding, ding,
it. Good job.
There was a lot of debate in the comments about what was preferred.
That's the big question.
Somehow mistakes work sometimes, in some cases.
They do.
Okay, so this episode is about our prompt. Tell us about the craziest thing you've witnessed at a wedding. Look, weddings are ripe for chaos. You've got people hammered. You've got people, nostalgia. They're catching up with old friends. They're trying to tap back into who they were when they were Chili's.
They're feeling romantic.
Oh, are they ever? Hence the movie Wedding Crashers. I mean, they made a whole film about it.
Such a good movie. These stories, though, are unexpected. So I love it.
Yes, me too. Oh, but before we listen to weddings, this is very important. What we want to do is we want to be able to kind of animate, very simple, 5 or 8 frames, tops, line drawings. Think of it almost as storyboarding. We want to start animating the clips for this show to promote on Fridays. And we talked it over and who it should be. And we all knew artists individually. And then we thought, there's so many awesome artists in the Armcherry community. We see your all's work all the time. And we thought, how much fun would it be to get someone who already loves the show working on the show in some capacity? So what we would like you to do, if you're interested, if you're an artist and you're interested and you want to be a part of the show in some way, this is what you'll do. You're going to listen to this clip and you're going to draw 5 to 8 simple line drawings and then assemble them. And then you're going to email them to drawings@armchairexpertpod.com. That's DRAWINGS drawings@armchairexpertpod.com. And then we're going to review them all. And then we're going to pick somebody and we're going to reach out. And then hopefully this can be kind of an ongoing thing to make little tiny bits of art for our Friday promotions. So now stay tuned for the clip. And if you listen to the Pooping Your Pants at Work episode, this will sound familiar.
What did you do?
There was really no rational thought for the next 10 minutes, but I immediately just picked it up, getting up after a dog, I don't know.
With your hand?
Yeah. And I was running back. There's a water fountain in the middle of the bathrooms.
Okay.
So
Yep.
I was like, I'm going to use this maybe as a sink, hopefully. That didn't work. Nothing works in this. I don't understand the office.
You're just dragging it around.
So I'm just standing in the stairwell, just oh my God. I just I'm holding in my hand.
So send us 5 to 8 little frames of what that might look like. We'll look at them and we'll see if we can't get into the creative bed with an Armcherry.
Woohoo!
Excited about this. Please enjoy crazy wedding stories.
Hard times come and go. Good times, take them slow. My life, I had them both. Remember one thing, you gotta know. I'ma keep on shining.
What's up, guys?
Hi.
Oh, you can hear us.
I can now. How are you doing?
Wonderful. Are we calling you by your real name or a pseudonym?
John's fine.
Okay, great. There's a lot of Johns, a lot of cover fire.
Especially 38-year-old Johns. This is a name when I'm 85 that will no longer be relevant.
Do you think? Do you think it'll ever?
There's no young Johns anymore.
You're right. It's more
there's not?
Max's, and that's not even that. Harlow.
Oh.
That's true. Harlow's a lot closer than John, for sure.
Yeah.
What about Jonathan? People going with the whole soup to nuts. Is that happening?
Well, do you know the difference between a John and a Jonathan in terms of spelling?
Tell me.
John versus a Jon. A Jon is a Jonathan.
So you're just John, not Jonathan.
That's it.
You're blowing my mind because I've always been curious why some people are spelling John Jon. Right? Have you known that?
I didn't know. I thought if you went by John, even short for Jonathan, you would add the H.
Yeah, I guess so. But no.
Okay, we're learning.
Okay. You attended a wedding, something crazy happened, and we're dying to hear what it is.
Yeah, this is pretty good, and it involves a dance floor.
Oh.
As it should.
The wedding itself, nothing super eventful, right? So there's probably 100, 125 people there. And this is about 10 years ago.
Can I ask what state the wedding's in?
This one was in Delaware.
Okay.
Oh.
So we get through the ceremony, everything goes good, get to the dancing. There'll be kind of a dance circle that will break out.
Of course.
Dax, being a great dancer yourself, you understand this.
Thank you for recognizing that.
Absolutely. And generally a person will jump into the center and do a move or two, right?
Uh-huh.
Yep.
This is my nightmare.
You're not lingering. You're not hanging out.
Unless you're semi-pro. Like if you're a break dancer, you might hang in there, right, and do I don't know, minute of action.
Exactly. But you're not hanging out for 5 or 10.
No.
No. So my buddy, he gets out there and he's starting to feel it, right? And this is a little bit later in the evening. So the spirit has entered his body, we'll say. Now, he's a good dancer, solid. Decent crowd there kind of watching him, and they're getting excited. He starts to go into this kind of G-rated striptease, we'll say, where he's past the vacation button. He's dropping down to the third button.
Hold on. The vacation button. I've never heard that.
Yeah, that's the third button on the shirt. And once you're past that, it's vacation mode.
Okay,
And he was in the wedding, too, so he's got the full getup on, right? But the jacket's long gone. The tie is now off of his neck and around his head. He looks like Rambo.
Oh, boy.
Oh, wow.
He is feeling it. He is hamming it up. But everyone's enjoying it. The moves are good. And every move he's ever seen or attempted before, he is now getting into.
He's having a moment.
From here, he's just looking to outdo himself, one move after the next. His wife is sitting off of the edge of the dance floor. She's 8 months pregnant. She's seen this act before, but it's getting a little later in the evening. She's getting a little tired. She's normally the life of the party, and she can't drink. So she's now watching him carry on, which is all good. That's great. Everyone's enjoying themselves. But he decides to bring her into the act.
Oh, no.
Okay.
So at this point, he kind of dances up to her, gives her a G-rated lap dance. No big deal. Nothing too over the top. At that point, people are, oh, that's nice. He's involving her. And now he kind of backs up and goes for the move of moves to outdo himself once and for all. He goes for a roundhouse kick with the intention of kicking his foot over her head.
No.
Yes.
So this guy's about 5'9", former athlete, right? But a little past his prime at this point.
Yeah.
Confident in himself, though, maybe a little bit of a beer belly. Not to mention, he's like in tuxedo pants,
Yeah. It's
yeah.
restricted movement.
but he's filled with confidence. Back turn, full roundhouse kick. Guys, when I tell you, his foot barely cleared her shoulder. Barely cleared her shoulder and just heel to the side of the head. Hammer time got her.
Oh my fucking God.
He kicked his wife in the head.
Roundhoused her. She's sitting there pregnant and he roundhoused her.
70 to 80 people standing around. All the people behind her who were sitting down, not dancing, were watching, and the entire dance floor. And he just cleans her clock. And he knocks her square out of the chair. She falls to all fours on the ground. Just blasted. If someone videotaped this from the moment he went for the kick, they would have been certain that this was a demonstration, like a karate demonstration with the intention of knocking her head. It was so bad. And he was mortified, of course. Everybody was in shock. It was like from full elation to just absolute shock. He dove on the floor after her. And it had to have hurt so bad. But she was, trying to tough it out.
I don't know if I've ever heard such an enormous flip of the script. Like from what he was feeling, as you say, the confidence, the elation, the sexiness, everything, to the morbid realization he knocked his pregnant wife out in front of everybody. That's about the steepest nosedive I've ever heard. Unless you were like winning the gold medal and you shit your pants. That is rough.
Oh my God, that's so
She wasn't out cold though.
No, thank God. The story wouldn't be as good, but she was definitely hurt. She probably wanted to cry, right? I mean, like it hurt bad. She's super embarrassed.
Oh.
Your meathead husband is acting a fool and brought you into it now. You want to kill him.
Hasn't tried a roundhouse in 6 years, but decided he still knows it.
He never has tried one. It's almost two victims there, right? He was a victim of the moment. He was a victim too. That was the end of his dancing for the evening.
I know exactly what happened. He's like, fuck it. Everything's clicking. Everything's working. Drops down, bam, executes the splits. You're like, fuck, maybe I'm capable of all kinds of stuff. Roundhouse over my wife's head. By the way, even if you pull that off, no one wants to see that.
There's no payoff there.
No. It's like shooting an arrow at her head.
It's sketchy at best. It's like, oh, let's not do that.
Okay, so now he's crumbling inside. I'm sure he gets wifey all cleaned up and back on the chair and all that. How much of the rest of the evening is he like checking in with people like, I have kicked that high before? Was he checking in with everybody to see where they were at?
Part of it is just like, to say, I know that I missed so bad. I don't want you to think I did that on purpose. That's not what he was going for, but it was just not close. I mean, this guy would have a hard time swinging his tuxedoed leg above his waist, let alone a flying roundhouse kick 5 feet into the air over his wife's head. I mean, come on.
Man, I am seeing like Chuck Norris deliver one of those really powerful roundhouses. The fact that it dropped her off the chair. Wow.
Ow. Oh my God.
Well, he did give the newlyweds a gift because what a memorable wedding.
Yeah, everything else went smooth, but that's something that nobody will ever forget. And lucky for him, it was 10 years ago, right? Because if it was 3, there would have been cameras all over him dancing. And then there would definitely been footage of the roundhouse kick he would never have been able to live down.
Some version of this happened to our friends Charlie and Erica, Perfect 10 Charlie. On his wedding night, he's on the dance floor. I don't know what move he was trying to pull off, but he fucking caught Erica in the eye with an elbow, put her to the ground. Yeah. And then the next morning, you have whatever that breakfast is called, the ceremonial. The morning after breakfast. And Erica comes down and her eye is half swollen shut. It's purple, the size of like a silver dollar pancake. She is fucked up. Was there a breakfast the next day? And was there any bruising or swelling? Or did they just bounce probably after that?
Yeah, we didn't see them the next day. I didn't catch her for a couple of weeks. I'm not sure how she ended up. But, this was like heel and Achilles to the back of the head and an ear all at once. So it's possible she avoided bruising, but it's a bad one.
In a million years, I'm not guessing the outcome of that. I'm like, oh, he's going to split his pants. Didn't see that one coming.
Yeah.
John, what a pleasure.
Yeah, it was a treat, guys. I was really excited when the email came back. And I'm glad not to be telling a story about shitting my pants at work today. So this was a little bit easier.
Well, great meeting you. Yeah. And what a brilliant story.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, guys. Take care.
All right.
Bye.
Be good.
Bye-bye.
I thought the kick was going to hit the belly.
And then terminate the pregnancy?
Well,
maybe it was going to pop out.
Yeah.
I did think.
And start dancing.
Once the wife was involved, I thought he was going to like pick her up and shake her, dance her on his hips, and she was going to deliver. Or break, the water would break.
Sure.
And then everyone would be slipping on the dance floor.
Fucking kick to the head. Oh, man, what a great story.
Hello.
This is so exciting, guys.
Hi.
This is a very exciting week. We just had our second baby on Sunday, and we got the message for this on Monday in the hospital. We were like going crazy on the postpartum floor.
Oh my
gosh.
Congratulations.
We're going to be on Armchair Expert and have a baby in the same week.
Wow. How many days ago? Not yesterday, but 8 days ago?
A week ago, yeah. My husband has them if you want to see them.
Oh, of course I want to.
There's a little babe.
Yes.
Oh, yes, a little Subway sandwich.
Oh my God. Tiny.
So, Sean, what part of the country are you in?
Midwest, Indiana.
Oh, baby. Neighboring state to Michigan. And where was the wedding?
It was in Indianapolis.
Oh, okay. What's the age of the newlyweds?
27. That comes in later in our story.
Okay, great. All right, so walk us through the event.
So the girl who was the bride in the wedding is like one of my childhood best friends. So her and her sister, just because I was always around them, her sister's a little bit younger than us, but they've both become like two of my best friends at this point. There's always been a little bit of beef with the groom. It's always been a little bit of a weird situation with the family. And so there's always just drama. Coincidentally, my other best friend got married the day before. I was in a wedding on Friday and in a wedding on Saturday.
Oh, wow.
So I couldn't go to any of this wedding events leading up because I had the other wedding. So the sister was texting me all this drama. So first off, Men's Warehouse had lost all the tux information for all the guys besides the dad, the father of the bride, and the groom. There was no one else's tux info. That was the info we got on Wednesday. Then Thursday comes around and they're talking about how the best man decided that he didn't want to be in the wedding anymore because it was a Catholic wedding. And he didn't realize it was Catholic until he saw everything the rehearsal did. So he quit the wedding.
Hold on. Was the wedding in 1940 when people gave a shit about Protestants and Catholics?
Oh, my God.
What did he think was going to happen at this Catholic heathen event? What was going to go down?
So then Friday rolls around. I'm in the other wedding. So as everything's going on, I'm getting all these texts from the sister that none of the guys are showing up. There's no guys at the rehearsal dinner. There's not a single groomsman at the rehearsal dinner. So, it's a Catholic wedding. There's a lot of parts. Like if you're going to practice for a wedding, you need to practice for the Catholic wedding because you got to stand up, sit down. You got to go up to the front. You got to line up. So morning of the wedding, of course, the bride is in a terrible mood because everything has just been a shit show up until now. You can just tell she's upset and we're trying, to pump her up and everything will be okay. And most of us have been in Catholic weddings before, so we'll help them out and they can just do what we do kind of thing. We get to where we walk down the aisle and we haven't met any of these guys yet because we haven't seen them because they didn't do a first look or anything. The coordinator is telling us, you go here, you guys are together, walk down. Now at this point, go to your seats, trying to scream all this info at us. So we start looking around, realizing that we've never met any of the groom's friends before. So we go through the wedding, everything's great, they get married. they're coming out, and the girls are just making small talk as they're walking out, and one of the bridesmaids goes to the groomsmen that she's walking with, and she's like, "Oh, so how do you know the groom?" And they're walking on. He's like, "Oh, like I don't know him very well." She's like, "So how do you know him?" And she's like, "Well, I don't know him." Like, "You don't know him?
What?
What do you mean you don't know him?" So she comes over freaking out, like, "Guys, I don't know what's going on, but this guy just told me that he does not know him." And like, I don't know if it was a joke. I don't know these people. Her best friend, that was the man of honor, he was like, "I've got this. I'm going to figure out what's going on." So he starts doing a deep dive into Reddit and finds this.
No. I'm scared.
No.
Last minute wedding help. Long story short, but here it goes. I, a 27 male, am getting married this weekend, Saturday. This was posted on Wednesday at 3:30 a.m.
Wait, hold on. There's too much juicy stuff to just run through this. It's already horrendous, but the fact that this motherfucker waited till Wednesday, like on top of all the things, he does that Wednesday?
For more backstory, they dated for 6 years and they were engaged for a year and a half.
Oh my God.
Shit.
Okay.
So
I, 27-year-old male, am getting married this weekend, Saturday, and have lost several of my groomsmen at the last minute due to military commitments. It crushed me, but I get it. I don't have anyone else to ask to be in the wedding party. I'm swallowing my pride and asking for anyone who would be interested in standing in last minute from our Reddit community. Catholic wedding on Indy's South Side. Tons of booze and food, I promise, and tons of fun to be had. I am more than fine to cover tux costs, which have to be in today at the latest. And I hate being in this situation, which I now could ruin my fiance's big day. This seems like a long shot, but I would love to hear if anyone has any interest.
Oh, okay. I went from suspicious he was a killer to now I feel so bad for this guy. And I'm nervous there aren't any military buddies that were just deployed.
Does the wife know at this point?
Has she not noticed he has no friends in 6 years?
Right.
That was our big question. The main thing being, like, they were together for so long. Have you never met any of his friends?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But his job is, without giving away too much information, he works in first responder type situations. And so a lot of times they would have plans to meet somebody and then they'd get called in or whatever, to where she just never met his like current group of friends.
Oh,
red flag.
Oh, yeah.
So we find that. Of course, we're trying to not go crazy in the church because we're all sitting in the church like, oh my God, what is happening?
He has a bunch of strangers at the wedding from Reddit.
Yes.
There was no financial commitment other than the cost of the suits, a reimbursement. The main draw is free booze. That's a bad way to filter through people.
On
Like,
Reddit.
if you're willing to go hang with strangers and in an uncomfortable outfit only because there's free booze, you probably really love free booze.
There was a lot of free booze. The maid of honor, the sister's husband, and my husband were together. And so we were texting them trying to figure out what was going on. They were looking up stuff. We're looking up stuff. And so we get all the pictures taken. We get into the limo. And so the girls start asking questions to the guys, because at this point we're like, did just that one guy do this? Or are there multiple guys that are involved in this? Like, we got to figure out what's going on.
How many moles?
Right. So we're like asking, how long have you known them? What do you guys like to do together? Where do you guys hang out? And they're given answers, but they're like very vague, ridiculous answers.
Sure.
So we get there and the couples go off into like this vineyard to take their pictures. So we're like, all right, we're sitting you all down. What the fuck is going on? And they all explain that every single one of them was from this Reddit post and that they were all hired to be at this wedding by the groom.
Oh, no.
Oh, my God.
It's just so funny from the outside. You don't think about it, but the programs are already printed weeks ago because the bride printed everything. So they're all going by names that aren't their names. So they're going by like Curtis and Ben and all these names that aren't any of their names. So they're not answering to their name all night and they have no idea who they're supposed to be because they're not the people that they're saying that they are.
Also, was the wife in the limo like, oh my gosh, it's so nice to meet
did you guys, did
Ben?
anyone let,
She was just real quiet about it the whole time.
had anyone told her?
We made a pact as the bridesmaids that we would discuss it with her in the morning and let her have today.
Might even go post honeymoon for this. Now we're splitting hairs, but okay, great. So it was decided not to tell her. How long did these guys hang throughout the night? Did any of them get inappropriate? Was it a liability?
They were all very respectful. They were very nice people. They all did like a great job in the wedding. No one got like super rowdy or weird. They were just like there to help out this guy. But also they think that they're filling in for military people.
That's nice.
Serving their country by proxy.
We realized that this best man has to give a speech because no one in this wedding knows that there's no real best man. So we're like, how did you decide that you're the best man? Like, what about? And they were like, well, we drew straws and this guy won and he was panicking. But my brother is getting married in 3 weeks and I'm the best man. So I'm like, whatever, I'll do it. It'll be good practice. I can get the jitters out. And so we're like, well, you have to do a speech. And he's like, I'm not giving him a speech. And we're like, no, you're giving a speech. That's what best men do. Like, she doesn't know this situation. None of her family or friends know this situation. So me and the maid of honor wrote him a best man speech based off of, if you Google like how to write a best man speech, there's like 6 steps. And we like, you thank the parents and you say the bride looks pretty, you tell a little story, you say thank you to everybody. He actually killed the speech. It was honestly really funny. He started out, he said, I've known the groom for a really long time. I don't want to bore you guys with the details. We'll fast forward to literally right before the wedding.
Oh my God.
We're walking in, we said, how did you know that you wanted to marry the bride?
Doesn't know her name either.
What if he said the wrong name?
Yeah.
But they said, how did you know that you wanted to marry the bride? And he said, when I knew that I would do anything and everything to make her dreams come true.
Oh, that's good. It's truthful.
If you didn't know, you would have no idea. But knowing, it was hilarious. The maid of honor and her husband came over the next morning and were like, we got to figure out some type of plan. So we're like, all right, let's go get some breakfast. And like reevaluate life. We walked into the breakfast place and I shit you not, one of the groomsmen and his girlfriend were walking in and we got seated at the table right next to them.
Oh my God.
And so we were like, these people are actually people that live in our part of town and are going to probably see them around.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
She asked her sister the next day what was going on, what she knew, whatever. So she sort of gave her like a lightened version. Basically, like, we don't know everything that happened or everything that was going on. We do know some of the people are people that he just met or like found online or whatever. But I mean, all the guys are really nice and we don't know what happened with the original guys or what the situation was. I think he just never had anyone and waited way too long to figure it out.
Are they still together?
Yeah, they have a kid now.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Good. I'm glad they made it. But I'm also worried about the level of vulnerability that exists within the relationship that he was afraid to tell her, I don't have any friends.
Exactly.
That scares
and hired
me a little bit.
friends.
Yeah.
Oh, this is deep.
He was an only child and he's really close to his dad. Like, have your dad be your best man. Your sister-in-law is about to get married. Have her fiance be in your wedding. I mean, my husband would have been in there. We're like pretty good friends with the bride, at least. It was weird. There was a lot of weird factors.
Yeah, he was embarrassed by it, clearly.
I think so. I think he just thought he was going to come up with friends in the year and a half that they were engaged and have them be in the wedding, and then he never did.
Well, listen, if you're out there and you're the guy and you get divorced and you get remarried, I will come. I'll do it. You too, Monica? Will you come with me?
Sure.
Okay. Well, Sean, that's
Yes,
wow. That's like an
thank
episode of
you.
The Twilight Zone.
I know.
Thank you so much. And congratulations on that little Subway
Yes.
sandwich we just met.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Take care.
Say bye.
God, that one was depressing a little.
It
I mean,
really
it was great, but
sad.
it was sad. And,
Wild. What a revelation.
and I was scared he was going to end up being a bad fraud. Con
yeah,
man.
con man, like it's his 9th wedding.
Why couldn't he say?
Because the family already thought he wasn't good enough for her, and then he shows up with no friends.
Yeah, it's sad.
Oh.
Maybe he wasn't good enough for her.
Well, no, he's still with her, and they had a kid.
That doesn't
He stuck
necessarily
around.
mean that.
He's a bad dad.
Hello,
Hello?
Hello. Hi.
Sarah. Nice to meet you.
You too.
Sarah, what part of the country are you in?
I'm in Buffalo, New York.
Okay, up there. How far from Niagara Falls are you?
About a half an hour.
Damn. If you grew up a half hour from Niagara Falls, do you go a lot? Is it like a public park? Or have you gone far fewer times than we would guess?
No, I go a lot. I have 2 dogs, and it's really pretty to walk them there. So I drive up there quite a bit.
When I visited, I was on the upper part before it goes over, right? You're next to the river that's feeding into it. And consumed second by second having to talk myself out of jumping in the water to go over the falls.
Yeah, I'm sure you know the lapel du vide, the call of the void. When you're in those situations and you just hear that voice that says, do it. I feel that way every time I go there. There's something about it.
I just learned that term, call of the void, 2 weeks ago, maybe. Do you think you know that term because of Niagara Falls, your proximity?
Yeah, I went kayaking too close to the falls. There's an area called the danger zone, and we were about a half mile away from the danger zone. And my friend said, do you think we should be doing this? And I'm like, oh, it's fine. 2 seconds later, I'm like, it's not fine. We're trying to kayak. We're getting into these huge bridge abutments and the bridges.
Oh, no.
And so that ended up in us being at the bar later and just talking about this call of the void. And maybe it was a little bit of intention with me being a danger seeker. We were fine. We were a half mile from the danger zone, but still.
Yeah, you and I should never be allowed to be by it together because we would probably end up talking each other into. Okay. The prompt was not, have you ever nearly died at Niagara Falls? It was, have you ever witnessed something crazy at a wedding? So set the table for us.
So I was a bridesmaid in a childhood friend's wedding in 2019. The wedding day comes, and there's this one groomsman who's really going hard on the Trulies, or the White Claws maybe. He was very drunk, noticed him drinking the Trulies, and I think he had like a handle of vodka too at the pictures after the ceremony. We go to the reception, and there's the whole program, and I didn't see him until after we were sort of released from the programming. And by that time, it had been a couple hours. And I did see him going to the bar in the reception venue quite a bit. And he's really sweaty by this point, like extremely sweaty. And he just didn't seem well at all. So I'm trying to get him to drink water. And his fiance's trying to get him to drink water. And he's dancing around. And it just wasn't great. But, you know, he's a grown man and his fiance was there. So I did my part, gave him the water. Maybe 45 minutes later, we couldn't find him. So we start looking. Someone said, you know, we left him in the bathroom. So we recruit another groomsman to go in and look for him. He's not there. People are searching everywhere.
Can I quickly ask what relation he is to either the bride or the groom? He's just one of the groom's buddies?
One of the groom's buddies from their work.
Okay. Coworker.
So this is the type of wedding venue where there's multiple halls at once. So there's a commotion out in the hallway, and someone just says, we found Jimmy. So I go out there, and all I see is like a chalk outline. He had shit his pants. He pissed his pants. There's blood everywhere. Yeah, I should mention he jumped off the second floor mezzanine. Yeah, sorry, I buried the lead.
Whoa. Wait. Okay. He got himself on the second floor somehow. This is an outdoor area, like a commons area?
It's the lobby of the venue, but it's indoors, so there's a mezzanine level.
Okay, perfect. And so he was up there. He answered the call of the void.
Exactly. Ding, ding, ding.
Exactly.
Holy shit. Now it's all made sense that we talked about that. He answered the call of the void. He jumped off.
Went splat.
We don't know the intention. Do you think he was going to land it? Or he's like, fuck it, I'm going belly smacker. Do you want to die? Do you want to show off? What do we think?
So we did find out the intention because apparently there was another wedding guest out there and he was up on the second story and there's an antique wooden spindly chair and he thought he was going to land on it.
And that would break his fall. Oh my God. And instead, did he even hit the chair?
I think he did, but it just broke underneath his weight.
He's lucky he didn't get impaled with a piece of the chair. That's side note. But okay, so it doesn't go as he plans. He lands on his face first, basically.
Face first.
Yeah.
There was the bystander, and I'm sure they're not like me, so they probably didn't get a timeline. But is it thought that he got knocked out and then he evacuated because he was unconscious?
Yeah.
That's the reigning theory?
That's the reigning theory.
Wait, and then somebody drew a chalk line around?
Chief's letting us know, like, you know, that classic chalk line.
Yeah, that's what he looks like.
Oh, he was still there.
Oh, he was still there. Yeah.
He was laying flat on the ground like he were a chalk outline of a murder victim. And he has shit in his suit and puddle of urine under him.
Okay.
And then bleeding from presumably the face and maybe even other parts.
Definitely the face.
And so what do people think to do? Where do you start? You get the paramedics involved? What happens next?
Yeah, there was a nurse on the guest list, so she was with him. He was unconscious for quite a long time. Then there was, the rubberneckers who want to see what's going on.
Of course.
Me.
The ambulance did eventually come and took him away, but the whole lobby's reeked of, human waste for a very long time. It smelled so bad. And there's other weddings going on.
Oh my God. Oh,
How
my
did
God.
the paramedics deal with, is there a protocol when someone has slacks full of shit? Like, did they put him on a stretcher? Did they even deal with the poop? Did they load him in the ambulance with shit?
I think they did. I didn't see the loading of him, but I think they probably just triaged him on the site to make sure he was stable to move and then moved him and probably did the classic cut off the suit.
Yeah. Sounds like they already knew from the smell inside the lobby what they were getting into.
No way you wouldn't know.
Oh my God. This reminds me of a story one of my best friends, Nate, told me. They were up in San Francisco. He and all of his high school buddies. A good sized fight broke out in the bar. There was like 6-on-6 guys fighting and it was total chaos. And his one buddy got hit so hard, he fell on the ground and immediately shit himself. And it was so bad that it broke the fight up. Like people were in the middle of fighting and then people were like, oh my God, what the fuck is that? People were scattering and running out of the bar. It actually broke up the fight.
I would hope so. If you continued to fight amongst all this shit everywhere,
well,
you're
I don't
really
know.
committed.
I don't know if it had gotten out of his slacks or anything, but the smell was too much. That fresh dump that's not in the water can drive. Yeah, it's strong.
Oof, oof, oof.
What did the poor fiance? Did she join him in the ambulance or did she stay at the party? Do we know?
I don't know why she didn't go in the ambulance with him, but I think she drove herself to the hospital separately.
Is there any postscript? Did you find out what his injuries were, what the fallout was, any of that?
So the cops came because there was some question. The other couple who was out there when he jumped, they were just acting odd and left really quickly, which, to be fair, after what they witnessed, I might want to leave too, but it just kind of was odd. I think they wanted to talk to them and make sure everything was on the up and up. And then the bride and groom had to come out and talk to the cops in her wedding gown and his tux.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And then we awkwardly continued to party, which was odd. I left early after. I'm like, this just feels weird.
It took a turn.
What a bummer.
It took a hard turn. Yeah.
Sure, sharp left.
It got really weird. The postscript is that this wedding was in July. And as far as I know, he was out of work until at least October.
What?
He had nerve damage in his wrist, and he had a desk job, so he couldn't type. And he misaligned his jaw.
Oh.
And he had a concussion, and obviously lacerations and bruises everywhere. And he definitely felt emotionally like a piece of shit. I feel his pain in that sense. He had to call and apologize to the groom.
Yeah. Did he consider sobriety?
That's what I was thinking.
This sounds to me like someone who might need to be sober.
That's a pretty big consequence.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I haven't seen him since. I do know that he did end up marrying his fiance.
Oh, she stood by him.
Codependent.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I wasn't sure if that was going to work out after that display.
That's true love. When you
Is it?
when you do a swan dive off the mezzanine level and shit your pants in front of all your friends and a coworker and you hang in there, that's a devotion. That's a commitment.
Devotion.
To rich or poor, sickness and in health.
Poop your pants or not.
Yeah. Oh, Sarah, I feel jealous, to be honest with you. I think that's a great thing to witness. I mean, ultimately, are you happy you witnessed that whole thing?
That's pretty traumatic, though.
I hate the drama of those situations and people are scurrying about and there's rubbernecking, but then there's people who want to get in there weirdly and make it about them.
I don't want to put you on the spot, but I did have some instinctual thoughts just when you told me you had observed him and then offered him water. Maybe you have some history with addiction in your family that you would have been all over that.
Oh, yeah. My dad, my uncle, alcoholic.
Sure. Okay, good. Yeah, so just when I heard the water, I was like, okay, I at least have a hunch of why you have spidey senses.
Yeah. I'm always trying to mother everybody, too.
Right. Oh.
Well, I'm sorry that happened and grateful because you got to talk to us.
I remember the other thing it made me think of is Aaron and we were all in spring break in Florida and we're walking down the street and someone's going like, hey, can you help this guy? And we look and then this little gap between two buildings, there's a dude who has no top on and shorts around his ankles. And it's the biggest dump I've ever seen in my life. He's laying on his side, and he was clearly trying to get his pants down to go to the bathroom in the alley and then fell over because he was so drunk and then just evacuated on his side. And it was so shocking, the
Yeah.
amount. And the police had to come. And then we were lingering like, well, what are the cops going to do? They're going to put him in the car. And they had to
They're gonna
wrap
wipe his
him in a
butt.
blanket. But he still had excrement all over him.
Pooty.
And they had to untangle his shorts. It was like a newborn baby. They found a newborn baby in this alley. And I just thought, this guy's going to come to in a jail cell tomorrow. God knows what they dressed him in because he had lost all of his gear. No shoes on, no socks.
People are stressful.
People let themselves go, don't they?
Yeah.
Well, Sarah, thank you so much for sharing that story with us. That was a delight.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. It's nice to meet both of you.
You too.
Have a nice day.
Okay, bye
you
Sarah.
I've also in Chicago got out for a concert and there was a man drunk, passed out on the sidewalk, pants down with shit still in his butt cheeks.
Why'd you look at his butt cheeks, Rob?
You got
He was just
Yeah, you
lying
do.
on the sidewalk in the middle
Rob
of the
looks at poo-poo in people's butt cheeks.
I do too. Absolutely. I gotta see what's happening. What a delight. What a delight. I mean, a pregnant woman got roundhouse and put on the floor. A guy fucking swan dove off the mezzanine level.
That could have been one of our 911 calls.
Yes. And then I don't even want to call it catfish, but just,
Yeah.
and not, I don't want to
that
call it
one.
bad actors either, just actors at a wedding. That's so wild.
It is really wild. There's so many crazy stuff that goes down in this world.
The world's a wild place.
It is. I'm scared of
And
it.
the Armcherries are here to witness it and
They are.
report back.
Well, we're grateful.
Oh, that was fun. Love you.
Love you.
Do you want to sing a tune or something? We don't have a theme song.
Oh. Okay, great.
We don't have a theme song for this new show, so here I go. We're gonna ask some random questions, and with the help of Armcherries, we'll get some suggestions. On the fly rhyme dish, Enjoy.